Hello, everybody out there. I'm back with my live chat, and today I have my first French guest, and I'm very happy to introduce to you Emmanuelle Iger. I hope I pronounced the surname correctly.
Yeah.
Great, Emmanuelle. Very nice to having you here.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Well, it is my great pleasure because I have to admit I kind of overlooked the French because the Americans and British are so present that you don't really look to our neighbor country, but this will change now, I promise. Yeah, there's already people have found us already. I'm sure some more people will show up, and Monica says already hi. Emmanuelle actually speaks a little bit of German, but perhaps you better keep your comments in English or French if you're able to.
I did German in high school, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's the same with me with my French. It's quite rusty. But Emmanuelle is, you have been working with tarot for about 10 years professionally. You have already published 3 books, I think.
Yeah. I have 3 books that came out with French publishers, and I have another one that I self-published through Kindle, Amazon. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just looked on your website. I put the website into the show notes. Emmanuelle has even translated some information into German. So if you want to be informed in German, you can look it up in the show notes. And apart from talking about French tradition and the tarot scene in France, we're going to talk about her deck, Emmanuelle's deck, Le Tarot Marseille-Waite, which I have already looked through and which is really great. You all should get it, I think. I really like it a lot. It's just exactly my style.
Proud of it. I am very proud of the way it came out. I'm very happy with it.
Yeah, you should really be proud of it because it's also a very good idea. So you yourself work with the Waite Smith, we say, or Rider-Waite or whatever. But just before, sorry, I'm talking too much.
No, not at all.
No.
I am used to read with the Rider-Waite because I actually learned tarot through the Rider-Waite. Sorry about my accent. I'm doing my best here, so please bear with me. But the thing is that when I learned tarot, I searched on the internet for interesting resources, and I am used to searching on the internet always in English, because in my experience, I don't know if it's the same in German. So you're going to tell me, because it's interesting to know. In my experience, when you search for something, anything, in French, it will give us results that are not as good as the English results. For instance, if you look at Wikipedia for, if you look at mathematics, for instance, anything, you will read the French page, and it will be like, here is the big and complicated formula, so you don't understand, but there it is. And if you read the same page in English, it will be like, here's the purpose of it, here's what you can do with it, and here is why it's this way. So you understand. So I've always had a habit of searching, of doing my research on the internet in English. So I found the Rider-Waite right away. So I learned this one, and not the Tarot de Marseille.
How did you get attracted to the tarot?
Well, actually, it was random.
Okay.
like many of the things we do.
You were bored.
Yeah. No, I was doing a lot of work on myself, actually. I was going through psychoanalysis, and I was doing spiritual things, having a great time. And
sounds interesting.
Yeah, so this perfect moment in my life. So, and I've always been very interested in psychoanalysis and psychology. So this made for a weird mashup. And I was looking for stuff on the internet about psychoanalysis symbols and the unconscious and stuff. And I have also always been very interested in ghost stories, fun stuff. And when you mix the two, you end up on esoteric websites.
Yes.
And then you can understand that when you talk about the paranormal, about paranormal stuff, but I must disclose something, is that I do not believe in paranormal stuff, because this is not the way I am wired. So this is not the way I use for myself to understand the world. But I've always found very interesting that there are a lot of people experiencing stuff. Mm-hmm. So I was looking at this kind of thing. So about esotericism and paranormal stuff and mysterious stuff, when you look at it in this kind of way, you end up getting the idea that paranormal things are things of the unconscious that come forward, if that's your way of thinking. So that was mine at the time. And when you look at this kind of things, you end up reading about tarot, because it's the first thing that comes out in this kind of research. So at first I was like, what's this stupid thing? So this was my first thought. And my second thought was remembering that when I was at university, I did philosophy a very long time. And when you learn philosophy, you learn systems. You know that, like, such and such author has this way of thinking. So when you understand how it works from the inside, then you can say stuff like, this author would answer the question this way, and this other author would answer the question this other way. So you understand how they think from the inside.
Yes.
Because every philosopher has his own system, and then it appeared to me that tarot was a very, very closed and solid system.
Yeah.
So I thought, yeah, I like this, and I like cracking a system. If it's the correct way of saying, I like to understand how something that is thought, how it can be thought, and why it's thought this way. So I was like, yeah, let's understand why this thing.
You sound like a true French occultist.
Oh my God.
No, I mean, there's this interrogation about what is this? This is
what the hell is this?
Yeah, exactly. This is very French for me.
Yeah, is it?
I think so, yeah.
Is there something working there? And if there is, I want to know how it works.
Yeah, that's very interesting, because many people go to the tarot and they never question the tarot, and but you went through analyzing it into it.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I read everything I could, and always in English, because I found that it was always very practical, very straight to the point.
Yeah. But on your homepage, I saw, for anybody who's interested, you have some French titles which are about tarot, which you could perhaps get. I saw one book on tarot history in French, which I want to get. That looks really interesting. I didn't know this one either. So
I'm going to show it to you.
Yes, please.
Yes, this one. This one.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Histoire du tarot, yeah.
And this is a very good. If anyone speaks French, it's worth it.
Yeah, I think I can manage to read, but not to speak. So I am very interested in history, and of course, you need to tell me something about this. But what I really also would like to know is about the tarot scene right now in France. Are there many readers? Are they all more doing Rider-Waite? I was thinking they would work more with a Marseille deck.
Yeah, it's mixed. So I don't know the whole scene, of course, but I can tell you about my experience and what I've seen. Because we always tend to meet and hang out with like-minded people, so it's difficult to really frequent the whole different-minded sets. But I have identified, I guess, 3 different kinds of readers.
Okay.
But so this is going to be very rough.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I've seen, we still have a big mass, lots of people who are reading with the Marseilles, so reading with this one, and only the majors. So and doing kind of always the same spread, like the cross spread. Maybe you
the Celtic cross.
No, not the Celtic, which is more, in my experience, more American, but a simple cross reading. This is against you. This is yeah.
Okay, the 4 card. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this, again, in my very limited, rough experience, this would be the more older readers, and they would use tarot mostly for divination.
Mm-hmm.
Like always future questions, like, will my stepdaughter get the job? And this is this always has been the case, and it's still very much present.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another, I think, another kind of readers, which are, in my experience, the more middle-aged, roughly. And it will be the persons who draw heavily from Jodorowsky, because it's a very big thing in France. Is it in Germany? Jodorowsky, which you put it before, this one. Do you know about this one?
La Voix du Tarot. Yeah, of course, I have it in my cupboard.
Yeah, it's a very good one. And so it's a very big thing here because Jodorowsky introduced the notion of psychological tarot. And you're going to tell me if it's the same way in Germany, but in France, lots of people say they follow his teachings because it's the way it's a way of saying we don't do divination. It's a way of saying we do advice tarot. It's a way of saying we do serious tarot. Because divination is not serious, of course.
Yeah.
And it's a way of saying we do work on ourselves. And so you have lots of people who have read these books and many others, and who worked a lot about that, and who use either the normal Marseille, either the Camoin version, and they're very keen on the psychological way. And the third kind of reader that I've encountered would be more the younger readers. And by younger, I mean people who have Instagram.
Yes.
and who speak better English than the other French, because English is not a good thing. So English is not easy for the French for some reason, and I found that the younger readers, they have read English books, so they have a much more practical way of speaking. They're much clearer because most of the traditional French readers, they have a tendency to be a bit abstract, in my opinion. This is the way I experienced it. Whereas the youngsters, they are more like, first, this deck is pretty, so I can show it to you, and it's legitimate to get interested in the different versions of the tarot. So it's legitimate to be interested in how a new artist has interpreted the thing. Whereas in my experience, the readers who are very fond of the Marseille are more like, this is the right and authentic way, and it should not be touched.
It sounds very German to me, I have to say.
Does it?
Well, yeah, we don't have the Marseille, but the kind of you have to do it in a certain way. It's very obvious for people who have been working with the tarot. I mean, they might be in their 50s, 60s, 70s or so. Then there comes a group which is more like you described, the second group, and the Insta people, Generation Y, is very spacey. It's too quick for me, I have to say. I'm too old for this. No, they shall have fun with this, but I find this, I have an Instagram account, but I think, it's so much, you have to put in so much energy there. But you're quite right. What I really like about this generation is that they have no fear of the cards, and they just dare to question tradition and whatever. So this is something I really appreciate.
And they are very much okay with thinking for themselves and saying, this is the way that I feel the card should be, and this is the way I read it. And if you don't read it my way, it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a certain, in this respect, they are much more tolerant.
I find it very, very refreshing. Yes.
Yeah, I agree. And you said you're not so much into tarot history, though you have a great book already. But you told me something really interesting just before we went online, which I didn't know. On your webpage, you mentioned that Tarot de Marseille is only on the market since 1930. I didn't know this. You have to tell us, because I'm sure other people don't know either.
Yeah, well, it's a weird thing, because actually when we say the Tarot de Marseille, when we say the, we mean that there is one, and we think it that way because we are used to seeing one deck that is called Tarot de Marseille, and which is this one, and which is this way and this way and this way. But actually, that's not how it began. So if I can invite the viewers to read my friend's book there, or to check anything out really, and even if you don't speak French, it's okay, because it has been translated into Spanish, and maybe there will be English sometime. Yeah. But tarot used to be an Italian thing, and when it came into France, it was published. Lots of playing cards factories did their own tarot. So we had tarot from various cities in France, and the cities where factories, playing card factories, were a thing, and they were all a bit different. So we had tarot with different numbers, we had tarot with different cards. There is, for instance, the Tarot de Besançon, from the town of Besançon, which is different than this one because you have no high priestess, you have no pope. Instead, you have Juno and Jupiter. But it's the same deck. But
and sorry, what's the town called?
Besançon.
Besançon. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And this one could have been the major one, but it wasn't. And in the beginning of the century, for instance, when you read Papus, the French occultist, I think he's more used to playing with the Tarot de Besançon, because at one point in one of his books, he says it's the most authentic one. But what happened is that in the 1930s, there is a big card publisher, a big French card publisher called Grimaud, who decided to attack the market of divination, because they had a monopoly everywhere but there. So they said, how can we master the market of divination? We have to publish a tarot deck, because it looks like a thing. And we should choose which tarot deck to publish. So should it be Tarot de Paris? Should it be Tarot de Besançon? Should it be Tarot de whatever? They were so many available. And they eventually chose Marseille, which was actually clever, because Marseille in the Renaissance was like the biggest city for playing cards productions. So they had big factories. We had more Marseille's decks left than Dijon, Besançon, whatever. So it was the most reasonable choice. So they said, we are going to publish the Tarot de Marseille, and we are going to do something, we are going to sell it. We are going to do something marketable. So they called it Ancient Marseille's Tarot, because it sounded ancient, because it sounded more authentic, because we French, we like this kind of stuff.
Yeah, of course.
And it worked very well, because it's this deck. This is actually this is not an original one, but this is the same from the 1930s, and it's a very good deck, and it's cheap.
So it's the Grimaud.
It's the Grimaud, yeah. Ancien Tarot de Marseille by Grimaud. So it was like a tsunami of the Tarot de Marseille. So now people are used to saying Tarot de Marseille, talking about our cards. Yeah. Like it's a brand name. Like you are used to saying, can I have a Kleenex if you have a running nose?
Yeah. Wow. I'm really impressed by this, because I'm sure, I mean, you Germans out there can tell me otherwise, but I'm sure everybody of us thinks Tarot de Marseille is a so-called Marseille, Tarot, the one which Coeur de Gobelin saw. And now you told me that probably he didn't see this deck when he was.
When you look at his drawings, it doesn't look like this at all.
Okay.
But I don't know. I haven't done the research about that. Maybe Donald Tyson has done it, because I've seen that he had a new book about the history of tarot in English, but I don't know.
Well, I think the only mention about it is that he went to a salon of a Swiss lady in Versailles or wherever, and saw these cards, and it was a tarot.
Yeah.
So, but everybody assumed it was a tarot de Marseille, and obviously this is.
It was just a normal tarot. It was actually it was an Italian tarot, so it was something that does look like that, but it was just normal tarotchi.
Yeah.
And we don't know which town it came from, and they were just playing with cards and having fun.
They as I told you, when I was in France, I used to play tarot as well, which is a normal game, and perhaps they were playing this, and the cards are totally different there.
Yeah,
and
I think so.
We used to play this game in Germany as well. I think there's still some groups playing it. So that's really, for me, this is a very big revelation, and I'm very happy.
Yeah, and then the Gobelin is like, wow, this is so occult.
That is really funny in a way. Speaking about marketing, do you know, is in French, in France, the Lenormand deck, is it famous?
Yeah. It's I don't know how to use it myself, but it's a big thing. Yeah.
Because only 10 years ago, we discovered that it's actually German and was traded in French with a French name to be published as well.
Yeah, and it came from a board game, didn't it?
Yes, the game of hope. Yeah. So it's really crazy what we are all doing here with occult stuff, isn't it?
Yes, but I think this is the really funny stuff, because when you read history books, you see that tarot started as nothing, really, just a game among many others, and then some crazy guy decided that there would be something interesting in it, like crazy. But you can be crazy and intelligent, and when you search for something intelligently, then you find interesting stuff. And this is the good thing, because tarot wasn't meant to say anything at all, really. But now, because we decided that there could be some truth, maybe we just had to search. Now we've been searching, and when you search for stuff, you get ideas.
It's amazing.
And you can learn stuff.
Yeah, and it's so. Yesterday, I was talking to somebody about runes as well, that we all think it's a very ancient occult tradition, but once you look into it, it was just an alphabet, and it became occult again sometime in the 19th century.
Yeah.
And so we all really need to look more into our history, because we will find out that what we're doing is not such holy stuff.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
So the young people have the right to invent their own, and perhaps it's quite interesting to let it be a game again and focus on it's a game.
Because if you take yourself so seriously, saying there is only one tarot and there is only one authentic whatever, and there is only one way of reading it, then in my personal deep feeling opinion, I think that you just said, I don't want to meet other people. I don't want to meet other ways of thinking. And I think it's a complete shame, because when you do a reading face to face with someone, I think that the really good part, the reason why I like to do this thing is that in a reading you meet someone. in a profound way, because you are going to give the person you are going to open doors for the person. You are going to say, hey, this is a card, so what about thinking about your thing this way? And then the person will say, here is what I see in the card.
Yeah.
And as the reader, you will be like, wow, I never saw that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, but not many people do this. They don't dare to question what the reader tells them. So, but I prefer much to have people in front of me. I read on your webpage that you're not doing any consultations right now. Do you always want to have them with you?
Yeah. I'm waiting for the lockdown to end, because we in France we have been we've had 3, I guess it's all fuzzy now. 3 hard lockdowns, and it's very hard to maintain a schedule.
Yeah. So you don't do readings on the phone or anything, just always.
I do sometimes in video, but I don't like it that much.
Yeah.
I like it when the person is
Yeah.
there, because we are together.
Yeah, I can totally relate to this. Yeah, very interesting. So people are in awe. They don't give any comments so much. But I think we should go to your deck now, which is what people are really interested in. And as I said, I have the deck here. It's I did a little unboxing in German, whoever wants to watch it. So you can see more of the cards. Like this, it's a bit difficult. People were trying to buy it, and you said you can order it via you as well, because it's only on French Amazon at present. Let's see whether this works out or not. And please just tell us again, or tell the others, I already know, but some of the listeners might not know, how you came upon the idea to create a Waite Marseille deck.
Yes, it took quite some time, because as I told you before, I learned first the Rider-Waite, and I ended up with a deck that was working quite well, and I was very happy. So the first thing I did, I had no idea of reading professionally or doing anything, but the first thing I wanted to do was share a bit of it. So I wanted to get out and show people, hey, look, this is tarot, this is cool, this can be more interesting than you think, and so on. So so I got out and I organized free lectures so people can come, and so people could share the stuff. And people were, the first reaction people had was that they said, wow, it looks so easy to understand, because we are used to the French way of teaching it, and your stuff looks much easier. Okay. So I was very happy with that, and I started to actually give lessons to help people read the Rider-Waite for themselves. And so I gave big initiations, teaching every card of the game, and people always had the same reaction. They said, yeah, this is really cool. We understand these cards very well, so it's great. But actually, this is not a very pretty deck, because some people like it, some people hate it. It looks like a comic book from the beginning of the century, so not everyone loved it. And they were like, yeah, this is very different, and this is also very different, and maybe this one is overly complicated. and they were like,
what do you mean by complicated?
Too many symbols, too much stuff, too many details. And people were like, always like, yeah, we love the Marseille deck, and it's beautiful, unlike your thing there. And we know the majors. And why the heck can't we take Waite's minors and take Marseille's majors and mix them together? And I said, because they don't have the same back.
And they're probably not always the same size.
Yeah, Waite is a bit wider. Yeah, so 2 very good reasons. And it went on for a few years. And after, I think, 3-4 years, something clicked inside. Hey, let's do it. Let's do a deck. Actually, what I wanted to make a deck that would be readable, accessible to everyone, because I think you could feel it. I had grown very frustrated by the orthodoxy of some parts of the French scene. So
Yeah,
I wanted to.
I understood your frustration before.
Yeah. And I wanted something. I wanted the deck that worked, basically. Yeah. And I wanted it to be pretty. And I wanted it to be authentic. So I commissioned a very good artist, because I can't draw for shit. So I asked a professional to help me, and I did the project management, which is to say, I want the guy to be this way, and I want such and such and such detail. And then the painter, which name is Alice Laverty, who is a really, really good, who is great, actually. She would do a sketch for me, and then I would go over the sketch again, and I would paste on it with Photoshop and stuff. I would paste bits of medieval illuminations that I had found in 12th and 13th century manuscripts. So we could make it work with the real stuff, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, and then she would go over the whole thing again and do the color and stuff, because she's very good with color. I don't know if you've seen, for instance, this one is I love the rendition of the red with the shadows.
Yeah. No, I think I really like all the cards a lot. I was just thinking when you were saying this that you did what Waite did, didn't you? You told.
No. I paid her correctly. I did not do what Waite did.
No. What I mean is you. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. Sorry. But I meant the creative process.
Yes.
It's funny. Yeah, you're quite right. So there are a few questions I have about the deck. So I went through the major arcana with my green screen. This is a bit complicated with the bateleur, but in the papesse, for example, and then we have the empress here. And further on, they have always white faces and they look rather artificial. Why did you do this?
Because this is the way people look in illuminations. Because there is something very interesting in this kind of old manuscripts. It's that they seldom represent individuals. They don't represent people at all. Actually, when you look at old manuscripts, you will see rows and rows of people with all the same face, always the same expression, always white, and everyone looks alike. And I think it was very interesting because medieval illumination doesn't represent individuals. It represents ideas.
Yeah.
And I thought it was interesting for tarot because it's not meant to tell us the bad person is this person, or you should be worried about your stepmother or something. It says, here is a mirror. Here is an idea in which you can project yourself if you like.
Mm-hmm.
But we will give you space for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I also thought when I looked at this here, for example, the Hierophant, that it's easy then to step into the cards and be this person, because you don't have a clearly made out face. And I was thinking, Le Mat, the fool, he has a face. He's not very white and like the others. So it's kind of, we are this guy, and then we step into each card.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. Thank you. So this will definitely be the official explanation.
Okay. That's what I call German-French cooperation.
Thank you.
I like this a lot. And what I really appreciated, which is always my way of thinking as well, that you kept La Force as 8 and Justice as 11, like Waite did. Because I really don't like it when people just say, no, this is wrong, you have to do it the other way, because in the other deck it's like this.
But on the other hand, I understand, because lots of people in France have reacted with incomprehension because they are used to reading it in the Marseille's way. But that's okay. And I've seen on Instagram someone who just took a black marker and then switched the numbers back again. And I think this is a great idea, and people should definitely do that. Because
of course, I don't forbid it, and many people do this here as well. But I think if they're always saying about respect, tradition, whatever, and then they say, no, it has to be like this because Waite was not right in the head. I think
it wasn't.
You don't like Waite, I see that.
No, I laughed a lot when because you know he's written the pictorial key of the tarot.
Yes.
And it's the one in which he gives the descriptions of every card.
Yeah.
And when you compare what he says and what Pamela Colman-Smith drew, it's often different.
Yeah.
And her version is always better.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm not a Waite fan myself, but I keep thinking, why should you change the number back if it's like this here? So that's what I thought. And what else did I think? Exactly. There's something which you might explain as well, is the tower. I mean, we all know the card as the tower, but in French it's, as you write here, La Maison Dieu. Where does this come from La Maison Dieu?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea. I think that Waite changed, the English changed it to the tower because I think, and this is my hypothesis, I'm not sure of it, I think they just wanted to get rid of the God thing. And this is why they don't have the Pope, this is why, whatever. Historically, I have no idea, because it used to be lightning, just lightning. Some older decks you can see lightning striking a tree.
Yeah.
But why the house?
Just hold on for a second. Gray Le Fou is asking what means that translated. So it's
the house of God.
The house of God, right? Yeah.
Yeah. No idea why.
Yeah, but it's that's a good idea to say, okay, they wanted to get God out of the system, but you don't really know where God is in this house. Is this somebody destroying the house of God, or Yeah.
We could give lots of interpretations. We could say, yeah, it's the house of God, because when you get out of your preconceived ideas, you open your eyes and blah blah blah. But this would only be our projections, our reflections, our thoughts. But historically, I have no idea. I don't know the fact.
Yeah, I don't know either. I just wondered. But it's really well rendered as well. I think it's just very cute. Also, like on the tower, you have these little flowers coming down.
Yeah, the little round things.
Yeah.
I got them in a Bible, the Apocalypse, and it's the way they drew sparks, the stars falling out of the sky.
Yeah, it's really, really interesting.
So we took it and we pasted them.
Yeah. Another card I really, really like is the Ace of Cups. That's really beautiful.
Yeah.
And you can see here very well how the this medieval is, for me, improving this image of Waite. I'm saying improving. We're just going to talk about improvements you made, as you said on your homepage. But I just want to show out you there some cards. That's not so good, but this one I really like as well. It's very Tristan and Isolde like.
Yeah.
It's really, really cute. And it's just one card I totally love. I think this is fantastic here.
Oh, yes. I fell in love with most negative cards, actually.
Yeah, but it's so. I really like the way this person is portrayed, because in the Waite deck, it's a bit strange, and you can see it's very roughly done. And here it's so well outlined, and it's much easier to go into this person again, to step into him or her. I really like this. There's Tony saying hello. Hello. So yeah, it's a fantastic deck. And you really should all see it. But we were talking about improvements, and give me an example of what you think what your approach of improving was.
For one, it was really important for me to get rid of all redundancies. So I hope I say it right. Redundancies.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Because I felt that in the Waite deck, the majors were overstuffed with symbols, overstuffed. And lots of people were like, yeah, why do you have grenadiers on the High Priestess, like the fruit? Why do you have the columns? Why do you have blah, blah, blah? And when you research those symbols, they always end up saying the thing that was already said in the card. So I felt it was much ado for not. It wasn't helpful. So I wanted to get rid of all of the details that were already present in the cards. That is why, for instance, the High Priestess of my deck, I came back to the Marseille version, but not the Camoin Jodorowsky version, which has an Easter egg somewhere for some reason. But I wanted it to be simple, because I think the simpler it is, the easier it is to understand, because the main idea of the card is already present.
Yeah.
So it's easier to learn, and it's easier for your current to relate to, because she doesn't feel impressed by all of the esoteric symbols. So that was the first thing. The second thing is that when I knew from experience that people had trouble relating to some cards, I tried to have the composition more readable. For instance, the Three of Coins here. we tried to make it lighter, and we made the coins yellow, because every time I showed the 3 of coins in the rider deck, people would be like, yeah, is this coins? Where are the coins? Because they are gray. It's the only card in the deck where the coins are gray, so it's very difficult to identify. And it was very dark, and people had really a lot of trouble relating to it. So this is actually what I mean by improvement. It's small things, but
yeah, I think it's a good idea. I was thinking about, do I really want to get rid of symbols on the majors, because I'm very much into symbolism. But of course, it's much easier to learn, and you don't. If you have something like the Chariot, you don't have to think about sphinxes or whatever. You just have a rider. It's if you're starting out with the tarot, it's probably much easier to get into it. And later, if you want to, you can still look at the Waite deck and then understand the details more.
Or perhaps you could start by learning all the symbols, so you do the work for yourself, and then when you want to read cards for normal people, you can switch to an easier deck, because it still works. It works better.
I'm really impressed. Sorry, I keep looking through the deck. You can't see it out there. But I really like also the colors are very beautiful. And it's just so nice. So many nice. For example, here again, I keep showing you the cups, but this one is really lovely as well, isn't it? Also, you dared to challenge the gap of the which is left in the in the cups, so it's much more balanced.
It was so unbalanced. Yes.
Yeah, it's really, which makes sense. Being an 8, there should be balance in it.
Yeah, of course. And I'm going to show you one of my favorites. It's this one. This one, because Alice Laverty, the painter, she does a huge work on the human body, and this is really her style. This one is really hers, and I think it's wonderful how the torsion of the body it expresses the weight of the burden. I love it. I think it's
and it's still in the style which you could easily relate to as being not from the 21st century, right? Yeah, people really like your cards as well, they say. So I'm really impressed, and it's also really good quality, I have to say. How did you choose the back?
This was from another manuscript, because I've seen so many. The big libraries have all digitized their manuscripts, so I was just browsing. Lots of them have this kind of background, either in red or in blue, and I thought this one was good because you can read the reversed cards with something geometric like that, and it just felt cozy.
It is. Cozy is a great word. Yeah, and I thought as well. Yeah, it's good for doing reverse cards. You don't have this cross on the back, which spoils the reversed cards. Yeah, it's basically really good. Well done, Emmanuelle. I really have to say.
Thank you so much. And it was a big work.
Yeah, you said it took you about a year or so to do these cards.
Yeah.
It's really good. Also, if I just show you another example, the 10 of coins. I really like it that it's no longer, there's no darkness here anymore. It's more like a market scene. And now I still have to show you some cups, because the card I really hate in the Waite Smith deck is the 6 of cups. I totally don't like it, and I really think this one is really nice, because it's a market scene all of a sudden. You don't have to think, why is there a little child? What is this strange boy doing there with these strange cups? It's
creepy.
It is actually really creepy. And to me, this is much nicer. It's a really good idea to render it like this. And it gives new accents onto something we all know very well right now. And I really hope you have a lot of success with these cards.
Thank you. Yeah. People seem to like it.
There are no questions, and I think we can come to a close. I definitely have to have you back, because I think there are many other things we have to discuss. Grey LeFou is asking whether the woman on the 6 of Cups is pregnant. I was asking this myself. Is she?
Yeah, actually, she's not. It's a little girl, but this is the way she was drawn in one ancient book. So yeah, no, it's
so yeah.
It's very hard to find kids in medieval stuff.
Okay.
They don't draw kids. So
I don't get it clear. Yeah, I was wondering whether she was pregnant, but you're quite right. She is.
Very little girls, they have a cute little belly.
Well, at times. Not in France. They are all very slim there. I stop. She has eaten a lot, says Tony. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Lots of ice cream, sweets, lots of good stuff. She's been having fun.
Okay. Yeah, no, she's not a pregnant little girl. That would be creepy as well. But actually, in medieval times, they have often these bodies which are looking bizarre sometimes.
Yeah.
Blown up as well.
Yeah, it's a different way of drawing things. It's a different fashion. So
yeah.
So I don't know why it's like that, but
yeah. No, I really like this deck. I'm going to do readings with these cards and see what comes out of it. I'm sure people watched will like it. People who are going to watch this video will like it. And as I said, we need to discuss more because I'm so happy I now met somebody from France. And obviously, you won't introduce me to the traditional tarot scene. I could hear that. You're not so bothered about them. But
I think they are great. I think they are great. Just I don't do it the same way.
Yeah, but one more question. Is Jodorowsky still doing readings in this cafe in Paris?
I don't think so. No, I think he stopped a few years ago. Yeah. I couldn't see him myself.
Yeah, he must be very old now as well, I think.
He's still making movies, I think.
Is he?
Yeah.
Whew, well, he's a very ambitious soul.
Very productive, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, everybody out there. I think we're coming to a close. I'm glad you all watched the video, and for me, it was a great pleasure having you. Thanks, Emmanuelle.
Pleasure was mine. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I think we enjoyed this talk both.
Yeah.
So I will be online, I think, next Friday again. I'm going to show. I still have to do some stuff before I can announce it, but there will be another interview, and I think it's going to be in English again. So keep being here on Facebook and see what's happening here. You're on Facebook as well, right?
Yep.
But not with your name.
No, I use my website's name, Les mots-clés, which means keywords.
Very good choice. So if you want to see more of Emmanuelle's work, you can go probably to the Facebook page as well, and there will be some cards, I guess, or
And I have an Instagram.
Oh, of course. So you can watch all of Isabel's, why do I keep saying Isabel? Emmanuelle's work on Instagram. And yeah, we need to follow you. And perhaps we meet some other French tarotists. Then you don't say tarotist, you say tarologue.
Oh, yeah. We say whatever, actually.
I really like tarologue. I'm going to call myself in German as well. Ich bin ein Tarologe.
Okay. I don't know how that sounds in German.
I'm not so sure either, but I will work on this one.
But in French, I think we are trying to make it sound like psychologist.
Yeah, it's a bit like astrology, astrologue, you say in French? Yeah. So, yeah, we don't have a good German word for tarot. We don't have a good ending. So.
Yeah, tarotist, it sounds like having fun with the thing. I think I like it much better that way.
The tarotist? Okay, so I'm going to call myself tarotist now.
Yeah.
but I have to gender, because in German it's very important to gender. So I'm going to be a tarotist with a little star.
Okay.
Okay, Emmanuelle.
Yeah, let's do this.
So have all a great weekend. Enjoy your lockdown here in Germany. Are you still in lockdown in France, or are you out of it?
It's coming to an end, I think. Maybe,
okay.
Hopefully.
I don't know. I think we will always stay in lockdown here in Germany. So plenty of more talks for you, since I can't do anything else. And have a great time. And
you
once
too.
Again,
thank you so much.
Yeah, speak to you later. Bye.